You open your eyes for the very first time and immediately regret it. The world smells like copper, burning coffee, and lies. Sirens wail somewhere in the city, and your first thought isn't, "Where am I?" It's, "Who the hell forgot to clean up all this blood?" Congratulations, you've just been reborn into the world's oldest unpaid internship, Vampire Hunter. No, you don't get a salary. You get scars, insomnia, and a lifetime membership to the, sorry, can't come to brunch, I'm fighting immortal demons club. They say it's noble work, keeping humanity safe from the things that go bump, bite, and buy up entire blood banks. But the truth? It's mostly paperwork, paranoia, and trying to explain to your landlord why your rent check smells like garlic and regret. And the vampires? They're not lurking in castles anymore. They're CEOs now. They run luxury blood spas, own pharmaceutical companies, and probably fund your favorite streaming service. You don't stake them, you subpoena them. Your mission? Hunt the rich, immortal, emotionally unavailable predators running the world. Your tools? A silver knife, caffeine dependency, and trauma. Welcome to the night shift. Your childhood was complicated. Most kids grow up fearing the dark. You grew up investigating it, flashlight in one hand, holy water in the other, wondering why your babysitter hissed when sunlight hit her cheek. You learned early that bedtime stories were cover-ups. Little Red Riding Hood wasn't eaten by a wolf. She joined a vampire pyramid scheme. Your parents were hunters, too, though the term is generous. They were more like paranoid hoarders with crucifixes. Every night was a seminar in trauma, garlic pasta for dinner, wooden stakes for dessert, and birthdays? Forget cake. You got UV flashlights and lessons on how to identify a bloodsucker in casual conversation. You remember your dad's favorite saying, "Son, if someone invites you into their penthouse, don't go. They're not networking, they're nesting." You laughed then. You don't now. School wasn't much better. Hard to focus on math when you can hear the janitor's heartbeat skip every time a student gets a paper cut. You tried to be normal, joined debate club, dated a girl named Amy, and pretended you didn't see her reflection flicker in mirrors. Spoiler, she ghosted you. Literally. By 16, you'd already learned 3 truths of hunter life. Silver is expensive. Therapy is unavailable. Nobody believes you until you save their throat. When your parents disappeared, taken by the order, the note said, you realized this life wasn't a phase. It was inheritance, a cursed one. So you packed a duffel bag, a Polaroid of your family, and a sharpened sense of vengeance. You were going to finish what they started. That was the last time you ever celebrated anything. You find the Hunters Guild through an encrypted message board that looks like Reddit's evil twin. The application process? Survive it. The Guild is less Hogwarts, more CIA meets exorcism camp. No sorting hat, just a man named Father Vance who greets you with "Welcome, sinner," and a punch to the jaw. You pass. Training is brutal. Days blur into drills, sleepless nights, and lectures about the eternal corporate syndicate, the vampire conglomerate, running everything from biotech to bottled water. Turns out, your favorite energy drink? Yeah, blood-derived electrolytes. They teach you anatomy for dismemberment, theology for guilt, and public relations for cover stories. You practice staking dummies made of ballistic gel until one screams. Turns out it's a real vampire, captured for educational purposes. You hesitate. They don't. Lesson learned, compassion gets you bitten. Your classmates drop like flies. Some turn, some vanish. You make one friend, Leo, a sarcastic medic who says, "The only thing we're hunting is our sanity." You laugh. You'll remember that line when you find his ID badge in a blood puddle 2 months later. Graduation isn't a ceremony, it's an execution. They give you a file, a silver blade, and an address. No diploma, just a name. Your first hunt is a corporate gala in Manhattan. The target? A CEO with century-old money and perfect dental work. You sneak in dressed as a waiter, watch him toast to eternal prosperity, and realize half the room's undead. You kill one. It kills your moral compass. You pass the test. You lose your humanity. Years blur. Your reputation grows, the blood auditor. The guy who walks into boardrooms and leaves behind silence. You start seeing patterns. Every vampire you kill has a replacement by sunrise. Every company you burn down rises again. Clean logo, new CEO, same fangs. You're fighting a Hydra, except the Hydra owns stock options. Then comes the mission that breaks you. You're sent to eliminate Dr. Vieira, head of SunGen Industries, the corporation researching synthetic blood. Supposedly, she's hoarding humanity's cure. You infiltrate her lab expecting a monster. You find a woman who looks tired. She doesn't fight. She just looks at you and says, "You think we want to live forever? We can't die. That's the curse. You're lucky. You get to end." You hesitate again. You always do. She lets you see the truth. A basement full of test subjects, humans, willing donors, volunteers trying to coexist. It's not evil. It's desperate. Then your handler's voice crackles through the earpiece. "Execute the target, or we erase you both." You make a choice. It's the wrong one. You save her. The guild brands you a traitor. The next morning, the media headlines read, "Terrorist destroys medical facility, dozens dead." You go underground, alone. Now you're the hunted. You live out of motels now, cash only, fake names. You sleep with one eye open and a crucifix taped to the ceiling, more out of habit than faith. Your body's a museum of scars. You pop painkillers like mints. The mirror's less forgiving these days, not just because you're aging, but because you're starting to wonder if maybe, just maybe, the vampires were right. They've evolved. You haven't. Now they're influencers, politicians, tech visionaries. You see their faces on billboards every morning. Drink red, live forever. You chuckle. You once killed a man for less blatant marketing. You still hunt, but it's mechanical now. No more moral speeches, no grand crusades, just contracts. The new generation of hunters doesn't care about saving souls. They care about sponsorships. You once caught a rookie recording a TikTok while decapitating a ghoul. Hashtag night shift grind. Sometimes you think about quitting. But what would you do? Take up gardening? Every rose would remind you of blood. You visit Vieira's grave sometimes, or what's left of it. No body, just an empty headstone. You tell her jokes. It's sad how that's the closest you've come to peace. You're not the hero of this story. You're the side character who outlived everyone else. And that's the worst curse of all, surviving long enough to realize the monsters weren't the only ones feeding off humanity. The guild finds you again. Of course they do. They offer amnesty, a final mission, one last hunt to wipe your record clean. You don't believe them, but you go anyway. The target? A rogue vampire destabilizing the syndicate. You track the trail to an abandoned skyscraper. Neon lights flicker. The elevator hums. When the doors open, you see her, Dr. Vieira. Alive, or something close to it. She smiles. "Took you long enough." Turns out she's not destroying the syndicate. She's replacing it. A new world order, where vampires and humans share blood legally, willingly, contractually. You call it madness. She calls it evolution. She offers you a choice. Join her or finish the job you started. You raise your blade. She raises her hand. You both hesitate. Again, lightning flashes outside. You see your reflection in the glass, pale, hollow-eyed, trembling. And for the first time, you realize you're the one who hasn't aged. You've been hunting vampires so long, you became one. Irony bites hard, literally. You laugh. Then you drop the blade. Because in the end, maybe the only way to kill the monster is to stop pretending you weren't one all along.